Hello. In this presentation, I will be talking about how tourism businesses and other stakeholders can use QR codes to create immersive visitor experiences, particularly within film and literature tourism. Most people already use QR codes in everyday life, for example, for menus and tickets or payments. But in tourism, QR codes can become a powerful storytelling tool. Instead of simply reading a sign or listening to a guide, visitors can scan a code and instantly access videos, soundscapes, interactive maps, and so on and so forth. This is especially valuable for film and literature tourism because these forms of tourism are built around emotional connections, imagination, and storytelling. For example, imagine visiting a famous movie filming location, scanning a QR code to watch the exact scene that was filmed there, or visiting the home of a famous author and hearing a narrated expert from their work. In this way, QR codes can help transform tourism from a passive sightseeing into active participation. But there are many different applications of QR codes, and there are also many different tourism stakeholders that could benefit from incorporating them into their business models. Museums, guided tour companies, hotels, bookstores, visitor centers, cafes, and destination marketing organizations, just to name a few, can all use them to enrich the visitor experience. In film tourism, QR codes can provide access to, for example, movie clips, actor interviews, behind-the-scene content, or augmented reality experiences. For example, a tourist standing at a filming location could scan a code and compare the real-world setting with the scenes from the film. And for literature tourism, QR codes could unlock certain narrative readings, characters' backstories, historical information about the author, or access interactive maps to follow the story's journey. This can create a much deeper emotional connection between the visitor and the destination. Furthermore, it can also encourage tourists to spend more time exploring and interacting with the location. The next step would be to how do we turn these locations into immersive experiences? Because one of the biggest advantages of incorporating QR codes is the wide variety of content they can deliver. As we've talked about earlier, they can link videos, audio tours, podcasts, archival photographs, digital scavenger hunts, what else? Interactive maps, and even a music playlist inspired by films or books. In this way, voice-acted storytelling is particularly effective because it makes the visitor feel immersed in this story world. For example, imagine scanning in a QR code at a castle featured in a fantasy novel and hearing a character narrate events that supposedly happened there. But QR codes can also support gamification of visitors' experiences. They might collect digital story stamps at different locations or unlock hidden content after visiting multiple sites. And another important benefit is the accessibility. QR codes can provide multilingual narration, audio descriptions, and text-to-speech functions, helping destination to become more inclusive. Overall, these experiences increase engagement, encourage social media sharing, and create stronger memories for the visitors. However, to all technology, there are advantages and challenges. If we look at the advantages of using them for tourism, first of all, they are affordable and easy to implement, because businesses can create and update QR codes relatively quickly without a major investment. Secondly, they are convenient and contactless. Visitors can access information instantly using their smartphones without needing to download a separate app. Thirdly, QR codes support sustainability because they reduce the need for printed brochures and paper materials. And another thing that could be beneficial for tourism stakeholders is that the QR code can also provide valuable analytics for your business. Your business can track how often codes are scanned and which experiences are the most popular. However, as I said, there are also some challenges. One issue could be poor internet access, especially if your tourism site is remote. To solve this, businesses could afford downloadable or offline-friendly content. Another challenge is overuse. Too many QR codes can easily overwhelm visitors or make the experience feel cluttered in some way. The quality of the content is also extremely important. If the experience is boring or poorly designed, it makes the visitors unlikely to engage with the content or the experience that you're trying to provide them. And finally, tourism providers should consider accessibility and ensure instructions are simple and easy to follow. But now, how to create and how to use the QR codes. Creating a QR code experiences can be actually very simple. The first step is deciding what the QR code should do. What are you trying to do with it? For example, should it open a web page? Should it play audio, show a video, or launch an interactive maps for your visitors? Then, of course, maybe the part that is maybe the most difficult part in all of this is creating the content itself. And of course, because that is a lot of thought needs to go into what kind of content you're doing and doing it as professionally as possible. So that is maybe the part that is the most time-consuming and needs some further development. However, once you've decided on the content-wise, creating the next step is generating the QR codes, and that is there are a lot of online tools to do so. Some recommended platforms can include QR Code Monkey, the website QR Code Monkey. Canva has a feature that could do this. Adobe Express, and the site of Flowcode and Beacon Stack. But after generating the codes, it is essential to test the experience carefully. What your business should do is check mobile usability, how easy it is to to view the experience on a mobile phone. The loading speed, general accessibility, and whether all the links work properly, because you don't want your visitors to scan something and nothing happens. And finally, the QR code should be placed strategically in locations where visitors naturally pause and explore. And you know your site the best. You know the flow of your visitors the best at your site or at your establishment. But this could include visitor signage, museum displays, cafe menus, hotel rooms, posters, walking tours, or even on some souvenir packaging. But maybe to summarize all of this, QR codes offer tourism businesses an opportunity to move beyond simply providing information. They allow destinations to create immersive and emotionally engaging experiences that connect visitors to stories, culture, and places. In film and literature tourism especially, QR codes can transform destination into living narratives. They are affordable, they are flexible, sustainable, and highly effective when paired with creative storytelling. But the key to success is not simply adding technology, but designing a meaningful experience that your visitors will remember for a long time. Because ultimately, the most powerful tourism experiences are not just places people visit, it's the stories that people feel connected to.